Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've had some of this debate, well, a little bit of the debate during the hearing on FAA reauthorization and ATC reform. And on this issue, it really only seems to me that the only way that the privatization scheme works is if the U.S. government gives away these FAA assets at no cost. In addition to that, the only way it works is if the U.S. government and the taxpayers who put the money into the trust funds commit the unspent funds in the trust fund in order to, what was told to us, to capitalize the privatization scheme. In other words, all that investment that has been made over time that has come out of the U.S. taxpayers' pocket and by the U.S. flying public, whether it's actual dollars or whether it's in asset form, goes to this private corporation without any recompense to the U.S. taxpayer and to the flying public. It seems to me that the real debate here is that this is the only way to make the privatization scheme work. That is not a good enough reason not to compensate the U.S. taxpayer and the U.S. flying public for the dollars that they have put in. In fact, the Secretary, under questioning, we didn't agree on a number, but she did say, in fact, that it was, or agreed, she agreed that the value of these assets, the FAA, is certainly more than zero. It is not zero, it is certainly more than zero. And we don't know what number that is. She seemed to be open to negotiation in my assessment. I don't want to speak for her, in my assessment. But the idea that this bill on, seems to on, some section here, Transfer Facilities Corporation, line 20, page 90, does say that these will be transferred at no charge. It does seem that the Secretary indicated that there should be some charge. But the system, it doesn't work unless it is handed over to this private corporation at no charge. That seems to be the only reason why it's in here. Not because it's a good idea, not because it's a bad idea, only that it makes it work. And it doesn't seem to me fair that the assets that have been paid for by the taxpayer, the assets that have been, and by the U.S. flying public, would get no compensation at all. This is why Mr. Nadler's amendment is important, why it's necessary, and why I support it.
Would the gentleman yield?
Who am I yielding? I yield to Mr. DeFazio.